Right, Evergreen website success model. I'm assuming you'll let me know if you can't see it, because no one's telling me they can. Basically this week, guys, I'm going to, well, basically last week, first of all, let's have a look. Last week I went through how to build a national website for major cities only. Now, national website for major cities only, it doesn't mean you have to build a national website. You can build a much smaller website, a state-sized website or a regional website, and add all your major cities in that you want. You all right, Rob? Anyone home? Are people struggling to hear me on here or what this week? Let me write something in the comments, because I thought we were just having a dead quiet week. I thought we were having a quiet week, but I think there might be a sound problem. I'm not sure. And we're still filling up. Sounds good, right? Okay. Nice one, Tim. Cheers, mate. Right, everyone's saying it sounds good. Okay, so last week we went through how to build a national website for all the major cities. It's just major city only installs. And like I was saying a minute ago, you can do that on a regional basis. I was talking to one of my clients today who covered London. What he's going to do is cover the whole of London. There's only one major city in London, but you can go inside the magic page and select which ones you want to choose as major cities. So he's going to do it that way for his own particular niche. The best linking structure for safe success. We also went through that last week, and using shortcodes on all pages for evergreen sites. Okay, so that's what we went through last week. Hopefully a few years of, oh, you missed last week's webinar. It's on webinars.net, Scott. It's webinars with a z.net, done there. That's last week. It was a long one last week. It's not going to be as long this week, as long as I push on. But I'm right, and then using shortcodes on all pages for evergreen site models. This week, I'm looking to, okay, the replay's on webinars.net. There we go. I forgot I'd done that. Right, this week, I'm going to cover how to convert that website into a major city website, so a single major city website, using the same content. Obviously, we spin it, unless we're branding the site, in which case we can get away with not using spun content, and you don't get any, or I've never seen any of all the sites I've ever built when I've been branding them, you don't get any duplicate content penalties or any problems. If you nick content from someone else, it just doesn't rank as well. Right, how to backlink to the main website, so how I do my backlinking to the main websites. There are various other ways of doing it. I'll show you the way I normally do it, and obviously I'll talk through another couple of ways. How to turn it into an evergreen site model, so how a site's been created and how it becomes. And then a quick bonus bit of content I thought I'd throw in there is how to use Magic Page plugin to create non-mass page evergreen websites. This is something that only a few people are doing. They don't use Magic Page plugin as a, oh God, I'm getting pop-ups. Sorry guys, I thought everything was off. They're not using Magic Page plugin as a mass page site builder. They're using it to create lots of major city sites really, really quickly, using the evergreen site model without really taking advantage or not taking advantage in their situation of the mass page. So I'll just show people how that's done, because it can be used for, yeah, I'm showing a slide, mate. It says, this week I'm going to cover, you should be able to read. I've just jumped off it and put screen share up. Can you see that, Paul? Okay, screen share. I'm not going to wait for answers because it's quite much tonight for a change. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, 1 minute, it's not working. Let me shrink that. Let me get. Okay, guys, you should be able to see my screen now. I don't know if all of you could see that presentation I was running through there, but I've got my screen shared now with the website we created last week. Can everybody see the website? Can they all see my screen? Yeah, nice one, Tim. Right, the reason, what we did last week is we went through creating a national website for the UK for locksmithing industry. This is actually a website I'm going to create and grow over the next few months and rank for the major cities for the auto locksmithing industry across the UK. So you can keep track of this, watch how I do it, what I do, and all the rest of that. This week, I'm going to show you how I would create a major city website from this website. In fact, you know what? Just let me pull this up. I can see your comments and I can see my screen. Okay, now I'm on my screen here. So this week, I'm going to go through a few changes that I added last week because it was a 2-hour webinar last week. I didn't want to carry on and keep everybody on there for hours and hours and hours and hours. So there's a few changes I've made to the site during the week, which I will explain to you first before we jump on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this website here. And we're going to convert that into a major city website. I'm going to show you how we do it and how we backlink back to this site in the relevant areas. So that one's carlocksmithmanchester.com. And then next week, I will do a very similar webinar, which will probably be a lot shorter. And we're going to start looking at how you create your single niche PBNs and link them to your major city websites and so on and so forth. So for the next 4 to 6 weeks, I want to try and get a webinar in every week that's going to help people build the strategy, the 5 or 6 tiers that they need to dominate an industry online very, very quickly. There's a training course coming for it as well. Any of my monthly guys is going to get that training course free. If you're not one of my monthly guys, then you're going to pay $297 for the training course. It's being created as we speak, but I'm going to cover most of it in this anyway. Okay, guys, so anyone who remembers the website we did last week, this is the homepage. And if you look down the bottom here, I've actually added additional pages. Okay, so what I do is I go to my Magic Page plugin website. In fact, let me jump through to it this way. Okay, so I go to one of my Magic Page plugin websites and I clone the page using Elementor. And what I do is I clone the page. It's got all this information here on it. And I clone it the same amount of times we've got headings. So I'll clone it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're keeping very, very, very long content on the actual Magic Page sites. But we also want additional, what we've called for years, buffer pages incorporated in there for your content. Now, we don't necessarily need them to rank. They don't need to be the same sort of level as these Magic Pages. But we do want them in there because a normal website that's got a homepage and let me go back to the homepage. As you can see, I've linked back to the homepage from the third site. That's got a homepage and then a Magic Page and no buffer pages doesn't look realistic for the amount of pages a normal website in that industry is going to have. So what I do is I clone the page 10 times, and then what I do is I create a menu and I stick it down the bottom of the home page. Okay, so as you can see, we've not got a city shortcode on here, so we've not got the 10 closest locations linking to it. Okay, but we have got the 10 pages. Now, each one of these pages, if I go locked out of Car London, what you're going to notice I've done is we have the shortcode with the 10 closest location, the city shortcode, and then we just have the locked out of Car London content on this page. Okay, now it says London throughout the page. If we click edit with Elementor, what you'll see is every single page uses the location shortcodes. Similar to that, further down here uses location shortcodes. And what the site is doing is it's hooking onto the central location that we've set inside the Magic Page, so it becomes a London, centralized around London website. Okay, so there's all your spun content that shows on this page. Exit back to the dashboard. And then the way my linking structure works is I purposely add all this content with no city shortcode. I purposely add these links so you can't get through to a Magic Page from the home page. What the Google or anything that comes in has to do, it has to go through one of these links. You can use the free version, Dave. You don't need the pro version. The free version works pretty good, perfectly. I use the pro version, but you don't have to have it. It's not a requirement. It's not necessary. Then my linking structure follows on from there. Is I have the city's shortcode. So for anyone who's new to this tonight, I'm going to just show you this page, what the city shortcode looks like and what it does. Now this works anywhere in the website throughout the whole site. So if I click edit on there, cities, that city shortcode pulls in the 10 closest locations, as you can see here, to the page you're currently on, which is the location tag. Okay, so that pulls in this information, and any page that we visit, it will do the exact same thing. Okay, that's just for anybody who doesn't understand what the city shortcode is. And then what I do down the bottom, right, so basically I link to this page, and then I put the city shortcode on there. Then if you click on that, that'll take you through to one of the magic pages, but you can't get back to the home page from here. Okay, so the only place they can go as soon as you start to index, the only place they can go is through one of these links. Then what will happen is they'll come to this page, which is your magic page, which contains all of the content from all of the other sites, but it's been respun. And then right down the bottom here, you don't need to have these keywords. I put a link back to the home page. So they have to go through 2 pages. Templates are matter. If you're in the theme club, you can buy templates, but this one I created on last week's webinar. If you watch last week's webinar, you'll see it took 10 minutes to create this. Maybe 15 minutes to create this whole site, and then obviously started adding all the content and stuff. That took the time, right? So there's a link here at the bottom that links back to the home page. So that there, if I click Auto Locksmith St Albans, will actually take us back to the home page of the website. And any page we visit, there will be a spun version of that backlink. So if I go to Harlow now, it should be a different keyword. Auto Locksmith Harlow, come back out, let's jump onto the Hemel Hempstead page, and that'll say auto. Why are all auto locksmith? They shouldn't be. Right, they're obviously not spinning, are they? Maybe I've not spun that, maybe it's just auto locksmith back to the home page. That needs spinning. I'm going to show you how to do that when we create the site in a minute. Okay, Val, I can see you're asking, right. Very, very basically going through, we have the home page. The home page links out to the normal site menu. So that links out to the 10 buffer pages, or however many buffer pages you do. So click that, it'll take you to auto electrician page. They're the actual site menu. So if we go into the menu, that's these pages that it links out to. Okay, they link out from the home page. When you land onto one of them, the auto electrician page, that has the city shortcoding, which then links out to the magic page. And then the magic page has the city shortcoding for the 10 closest locations, plus in the footer, it has a link that takes you back to the home page. So when Google indexes the site, it has to go in at least 2 or 3 pages deep before it can get back to the home page. Anyone who was on last week, I told you, he had a lizard living in the office. I think he's just going across the room. Shit. Right, sorry. So that links back to the home page. So that's the way I structure it. And then from there, when we start building the city sites, okay, so this is a car locksmith site now I'm going to build tonight in Manchester, and I'm going to use this site to do it. So anybody who, depends what type of cloner that you use, there's lots of different ones out there. They all work slightly different. I use all-in-one WP migration, and I have got the premium version of this, but there are plenty of other ones out there that you can use where you don't need to create the backups and export and all the rest of it. I've pre-exported this because it's about 80 meg, so it might be a little bit slow working. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the whole process that I would go through on a brand new website. So this is just pre-installed, and then I'll go to plugins. Go over to desktop. We want all-in-one WP migration. Right, and I want the unlimited extension. It needs it's got a free version and a premium version, but there's Duplicator is another one that you can use, which is a free one, but you need to put in the database connection details. So I don't like that one. I prefer this. So we've got install plugins. I'm just going to check for updates because I've not downloaded the up-to-date version of this. Right, then with this cloner, all you do is you come down here, click import. It does use the same login details as the original website. So Evergreen clones, just let me check which one's got the most recent on it. That was done on the 28th. That was done on the 20th. All right, so that's the most recent. So I'm going to import that one to make sure we've got all the data. So it'll take two or 3 minutes to import the site. And then what's going to happen is it's going to kick us out of the website and it's going to bring us back in. And once we activate Magic Page plugin, it's going to take maybe 5 minutes. And we're going to have a fully done Manchester website, auto locksmith website for Manchester, pre-created, done and ready to go. Literally, there's a couple of things we have to do, but it's very, very simple, very, very easy, very, very quick, because the content we had pre-written is the decent quality content. So because we're using good quality content on this and we're spinning it, we don't need to worry about adding new content and messing around and doing all that, because all of our content's been spun. So we're going to click proceed. We're almost there, guys. Sorry about this. I could have pre-installed this, but I thought, well, no, this is kind of the webinar. So, okay, that's it. And then it's going to ask me to sort out my permalinks. So I'll click that, update, and when I click continue, it'll ask me to log in. Now I use the login details from the other website, from the actual cloned website, not from the website I've installed. So you don't need to, it is actually Dave, yeah, it's better to see it live and you can re-watch it then as well. So it carries the, let's update that. Then we come down here, post name. We make sure it sets a post name and we save it twice, okay? What this will do is just go through and reactivate everything that needs reactivating. Okay, okay, if I go and have a look at, in fact, if I go and look at the home page now, what we're gonna see is it's still London, okay? It's all still London. Now, the reason that happens is the site caches. So what it does is it stores all the previous data. So what we do is we go into our Magic Page and we click on settings. Thank God my API keys are hidden for that one. Now, this one's got the word car locksmith in the URL. So I would probably change this to auto keys maybe. And then I would save that bit first. Then I would come to here and delete the spin tax cache. Well, what that's going to do, that's going to make it so that if we now go to the home page, it just shows the shortcodes because we've not set a central location. Right, following doing that, next thing we need to, I can ignore this. This is just my license for, because I've got the premium version installed, but I'm pretty sure it'll work without it. So if I go back over to the databases now, I've installed a UK license on here now as well, because last week we had to wait for ages. Okay, so as you can see, what we've got installed is all of the major cities, all the 120 location major cities. We're going after Manchester this week, so what I would do is uninstall all databases first of all from the previous one. Now you can clone this and transfer it with just one site installed, if just one location installed if you want, meaning that it's going to be a much smaller install. I've just left it at 120 locations because it's tiny anyway, just doing the major cities. Now, anybody who doesn't understand how the filters work, I'm going to show you that as well in a minute, because that's quite important. For example, I did a London site today and I only chose the regions around central London. So it was only like 100 and something pages, rather than all 900 if you install a full London database. Okay, so we've uninstalled everything that's already installed on it. Then we're going to go to the northwest because this is Manchester. I'm going to click on the filters and I'm going to get rid of that. Now I can go up here and I can choose regions, Greater Manchester, Lancashire, Merseyside, so on and so forth. What I want though, because this is Manchester only, it's not a Greater Manchester website, if I go into here and put capital M and a percentage and then a comma, what I'm now going to do is going to install only the locations with the postcode beginning M. If you click wave over this here, right there, let's see if this pops up for us. Right, zip code must contain, default is percentages on both sides. Starts with, if you put the M, then a percentage sign, it's what it starts with or what it ends with. So if we just did an M and put a comma next to it, that'll put the percentage on both sides, which means it must contain the M. Alternatively, if we wanted something that was ending in M, we would use the percentage, then the M, then the comma. Okay, but this week we want everything starting with an M because it's a Manchester website. I don't want to be doing the whole of the Northwest because it's 4,000 pages. I don't want to be doing the whole of Greater Manchester because I know it's about 1,000 pages. So we're going to apply them filters. You want to do about 200 or 300 pages for a major city site, and you can grow it over a period of time. But when you're putting these together first, so as you can see, that's 198 locations now, down from 4,000 and something. But just let me show you what that is. So the whole, there you go, 4,071 locations it would be. Put the M in, put a percentage, put a comma. These type of filtering only really works as accurately with UK, USA. I think we've got Canada and Australia working perfectly now. I could be wrong a bit on with the rest of them we're working on, but they're not all completely finished. Then you're just going to install your databases. So I'm installing 198 locations. Okay, so that's installed it for us, and we just click continue. Okay, I'm going to delete this Bentex cache again. I always delete that all the time. Okay, now we go to the magic page, click on edit, and as you can see, it's showing the location shortcodes again now instead of the location. Dave, South Africa is not perfect yet. It might be actually. I don't, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It's absolutely a nightmare to get all the best, everything correct on South Africa, mate. Right, location. So I'm going to just type in Manchester, and you've got to wait for it to populate itself. See there, I've got two options. So I'm going to do Manchester, and what should happen now, because I've got 1,000 mile location, 198. That's all 10 locations that are already installed. Plus, I didn't know what this was last week. I asked my team, and he said all the pages that contain shortcodes will show up here because the magic page actually activates and works on them all for you. And then we click update. Okay, let's go back to the home page. And as you can now see, we've got Manchester Auto Locksmiths. Okay, now maybe not right. You see down the bottom here, the menu hasn't changed because what that does is that solidifies itself. I'll show you how to change that in a minute. But now if we go through this, every single one of these, Manchester Auto Locksmiths is going to be car key duplication Manchester. It's going to bring in the 10 closest locations to that specific location. You click on the magic page, Auto Locksmiths, all the schema and everything's pulled in, connected to the central location of the major city that you're trying to target. So instantly you've got a major city website. The only thing we need to now mess around with and change is we need to come into here, click on menu. You see all these? If we can drag them across from here if we want. I don't. I tend to just go in, grab that, put in the location shortcode the first time. Then what I do is I grab it, copy that, and I will. That one just says Auto Locksmith. Let's put the shortcode in. Let's add the shortcode, and I'll show you. This is the menu that's showing up on the home page. Right, with your backlinks, when you're doing backlinks to your other sites, you need your keywords to be as diverse as possible. So you don't want loads of the same keyword. That's keyword before at Auto Locksmith and was pointing all to the homepage. That's probably not a great idea, but internal linking is not too bad if it's all the same keyword. But when you get an external backlinks, you don't want that. Okay, so I've done that. Export MPP URLs. You can do that, Tim. You can do that with the dynamic backlink builder. You can't export them to another. Give me a bit more details in the comments of what you mean. You might be able to do it, mate. If you can't, we'll have a chat, because it might be something that if I've not thought of it and it's a good idea, I can get my developers to do. Right, so we've now done that. As you can see, they've all changed to Manchester. That one says location. Don't know why, but it should automatically change itself when we go back. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so we're on the home page again where all them links are. And as you can see, all of these have now changed to car key duplication Manchester, car key programmer Manchester, so on and so forth. Because we're inside of carlocksmithmanchester.com. Right, the original website we were working on was the Extreme Locks website, extremelocks.co.uk. It's a site I've had for years, and we took it down and we've rebuilt it as a national site, and I'm going to work on it. Okay, so now we're going to jump back in through one of these links, and I'm going to show you how you link back to the original website now, so that you're not doing links to all of the pages. So we're going to go into one of the magic pages. So don't forget that we're using the same content in all of them 10 locations we've got on the magic page here. We'll just spin it again. Okay, so you don't having to rewrite loads and loads and loads of content. But as you can see, this has already started to become a very, very big, well put together site. Now, you don't need all of this crap that I've put in here, but I just like to put that. I've done it for years. I've always done it. I've always stuck that on my websites, and it's never affected them negatively, so I use it. Some people don't like to do it, but I do. Right, so the next step now is to start creating backlinks from all your magic pages to your original website that you're coming away from, your national website. And the way I do it, now some people like to do this inside the content, but it's all about the linking structure and how you create the backlinks to work correctly. So what I will do is I'll come down to this bottom bit here, and what we're going to do is we're going to click edit. Okay, and you're going to see all this over here. That's all these keywords, and that bottom one is the link that goes back to the home page of this website. So it previously would have gone to, see, that would have been previously one that went to, 1 minute. Oh, it's .org this, not carlocksmithmanchester.com. Sorry guys, I do own carlocksmithmanchester.com as well. I mustn't have done that one. Anyway, that's another story. So just in case anyone's getting confused saying when they're looking at the site, it doesn't look the same. It's .org. Right, so what I would do now is I want to link back to the original website, but I don't want to link to the home page on the original website. What I want to do is go over to the magic page, okay, and I want to find the magic page for the site that I'm doing, the page that I'm doing. So I want the Manchester page, okay, because that's the site I want to link back to. If you go up to URL, jump all the way to the end where it says Dartford there, type in the word Manchester, and we're going to hit the Manchester page. This is the page I want to send the backlinks from, because this is a major city website based in Manchester. Right, the way I'd create these is I'd get all of the long tail keywords we've been after, copy them all from there, and then I would paste them all into here, okay? Then what I would do is I go to the front part of here, and I put a squiggly bracket opening it. I'll come down to the bottom end here, and put a squiggly bracket closing it, right? That's opening and closing spin text. Now what we need to do is make sure it's going to spin. So what we need is a pipe. So you see where we've got the hyphens in between everything? I'm going to go in, I'm going to pop a pipe in. I'm going to work my way along, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to pop a pipe in. Okay, now you can do this to as good an extent as you want or not. If I'm doing this to a much higher level, what I would tend to do is put the location shortcode in different places. A lot of the keywords won't have location shortcodes in them, but I'm keeping this as simple as I can for the webinar, so people understand what it is I'm doing. But realistically, it's as far as your imagination can take you, and obviously keyword diversity is important in your backlinks. Okay, so what I've done is I've added a squiggly bracket there and a squiggly bracket down there that anybody doesn't understand what spin text is. And what spin text does is it automatically selects whatever's in here, one of randomly whatever's it between the pipes. And the pipe is basically says, okay, that's the end of this sentence, or that's the end of this keyword. Then what I would do is I would select all of that, the whole lot. I'd go back to the page that I want to rank, that I want to backlink to, which is the Manchester page. I'll copy that, go back over to the Elementor. And then what I'm then going to do is click on the little link here, pop that in there, and click go. Now, when I click this arrow, it should be blue. Okay, it's blue, that means it's done it right, okay? If it shows up and it's red, it's all right being red when I wave over it. If that shows up red, it means you've done something wrong, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click update. And I'm going to demonstrate what this has done now for the backlinks from this major city website. Okay, so we're going to come back in through here. I'm going to go exit to dashboard. So it looks like a whole load of mess there, but it's not. Back to the home page, down to the bottom, click on one of these. Find a magic page. Okay, so here's our magic page. Ancoats, Hume, University of St. George's. These are all areas in Manchester, one of the 189 locations. Right, so if we come down to the bottom now, the Ordsall page, locked out of car Ordsall. If I click on that, that takes us over to the Extreme Locks Manchester page, locked out of car Ordsall. Okay, if we now go to a different one, New Windsor, the keyword, the backlink is locked out of car New Windsor. 1 minute. Let's find one that's not the same. Seedley. Car key programming Seedley. So as you can see, what it does is every single page has a different keyword, not a different car key programming Salford keys, but what it does is it pulls from the list of keywords that you put in there and provides. Now these are all like little balls. Okay. It's close to central Manchester. It's got an M postcode. So when you're clicking car key replace Little Bolton and the backlink is going to a Manchester page, that's giving this Manchester page a huge boost from your backlinks. It's not just, it's all the keywords. You don't want all the keywords pointing to Manchester. Okay, you want your keywords pointing to all the different areas. And what Magic Page Plugin enables you to do with this is diversify your keywords very easily. Car key locked inside car boot Salford, and that's going to take you to a Manchester page for the auto locksmithing, which contains car key repair, car boot locked key inside Manchester. Okay, so these backlinks really work. I was showing one of my clients today a website I've been testing just using the S3 and the Google Drive backlinks, nothing else, for about the last 3 or 4 weeks. And this site has always ranked in one major city in the UK. It's never ranked in any of the others. And it's a major city website. And we've been playing around with that for about 4 weeks. And I'm showing you today, we've got it now ranking first page for major keywords, just using the dynamic backlink tool, in about 10 major cities. So it really does work. So this is it really. I know it seems like a short presentation today, like I've not gone through loads and I'm not thinking it, but it really is as simple as that. So basically, once you start, we're back on the major city website. Once you start creating these backlinks, it does everything for you. So the S3 indexed, I just use Ghost Indexer, but to be honest with you, I think my account's been turned off or something because I had a lifetime account with it, and recently it's not been running. They've not been running. I don't know what it is. I'm not even bothered telling them. But yeah, that's how I've been getting S3 indexed, is I've been throwing them through. I don't mind chucking stuff like that through an indexer because obviously you have your PBNs, you have your that you fire your S3s and that into. But we've actually been trying to rank major city sites with just using the S3 and the Amazon Drive and with the Google Drive links, and it's working. It's really working. So another trick you can use is create a sitemap with all of your S3 backlinks on. And the way you get all your list of S3 backlinks is you download, say, all your PDFs to a folder before you upload them to Amazon Drive S3. And then you take all of them names and you import them, paste them into a text editor. Then you go over to your Amazon Drive and you get the name of the Amazon Drive box and you paste that at the beginning of them all, or you can use a bulk index changer. Type it in and that gives you a full list of all of the PDFs you've got inside of that Amazon, I don't know what they're called, the S3 bucket, I think they call it. Inside of that bucket, that gives you all of the list, and that way you can bulk index that. But you can also create a sitemap with that list. If you create a sitemap with that list, then you can take it and put it onto any website you want, no matter what site you put it on, and then you can upload that sitemap to Google from anywhere. and it'll work. I've just seen Louise say hello on here. Guys, I told you later, she's done a private hello though. I said I've got a very special guest on tonight. Basically, if it wasn't for her and Mark, I wouldn't be here tonight. We met 10 years ago. Mark's her fella, and they trained me as a locksmith. They basically, I was trying to do it, or I think I'd just come back from London. I was skint, and they took me under their wing, didn't charge me for it, trained me, helped me on jobs, did all sorts. They've now come to the dark side and are going down the mass page route. So I'm going to have some competition in the UK for the locksmithing, which is great. And I'm going to help them as much as I possibly can. So I'm really pleased, John. You don't need to do private messages, Louise. Just any messages on there will do. So I'm really glad you guys made it. Right. In addition to that, guys, I also said earlier on, I'm going to show you how to create normal websites. Right, just a normal website. But no, there she is. Everyone say hi to Louise, guys, because without them two, I wouldn't be here teaching you this week. I've never created a magic page. I've never got into locksmithing. Them two probably pivotal point in my life, probably make the biggest difference out of anybody I've ever met. And it was out of pure kindness of their hearts. They're really, really, really great couple. They're in the group as well. Mark Gregory, I think his name is on Facebook. But yeah, I'm really pleased you've come over, and I'm really pleased you're here. Anything I can do to help you guys. Right, so next step is we've gone through the mass page site, we've gone through how to do dynamic backlink building to the major city site. Next week when we come on, I'm going to jump on to showing you how to to the eye. Sorry, Louise. I know I'm feeling a bit. Why am I saying this? But I'll show it now. I won't embarrass you anymore. The other thing is there's a few clients using Magic Page not for mass page. What they're using Magic Page for is non-mass page websites. Okay, so you've just seen everything I've just done today, and get to the point where we've got all of these little daft locations incorporated in to. Let me go back to the home page. That's going to take us to the other one. So as you can see, we've got all of these locations, and then all of these different locations have got all of their small bit of content, like their buffer pages. And what these people are doing is they're creating sites, but what they're doing is you go inside of the Magic Page, and every single page uses shortcodes throughout the whole website. Okay, so you've got shortcodes here, you've got shortcodes there, you've got shortcodes in your meta descriptions, your titles, you've got the city shortcode to pull in anything. They don't use the city shortcode. You don't need it. So what they're doing is they're creating a site the same as this, identically to this, what we're doing here. But then what they're doing is they're going over and they're pretty much grabbing one location in the area that they want, just one location. So let's go over to your Magic Page. When I see now that we're doing it, I thought, wow, that's cool. It really is a cool idea. So they're going into their locations. They're grabbing all these locations and they're saving one central location that they want, and they're deleting out all of the things from inside of the system. Right, so every single one of these will be deleted. And what they're doing is they're saving one location, and then they're going back over to the Magic Page, and they click Edit. And in here, they're adding that one central location. So it's not thinking, so they're saving just Manchester as one location. Okay, so we just have, if we do 1 mile, it might do it for us. Okay, so you've got 1 mile, you've got the 4 locations it's pulling in, right? And then you click Update, and what they're doing is they've got one location in there, the Manchester page, which is the Magic Page, and all the rest of the site is identical content, but because they've got this here, what's happening is they've got a 10-page website framework built using just shortcodes. And as you can see, this has brought in the 4 locations because I can't go less than 1 mile. But they've got no additional locations on the Magic Page. They're not actually using any additional locations on the Magic Page. The Magic Page would be a Manchester page only, and there's no links going to it. So then as soon as they decide, right, we need to now build a site in Liverpool, they keep the exact same process, but they go back over to here. I might as well just show you how they do it. Right, so for example, they wanted to build a Liverpool website now, but they didn't want a mass page website. They just want a normal central location setup website that works. So they come into, they go to the settings, click here. Okay, then they're going to go uninstall all locations. Right, so we wanted a Liverpool website now, yeah? We've just built that framework with all the shortcodes and everything else that fits in there perfectly. All right, I've already uninstalled. That was quick. Right, then we're going to go back to the Northwest because we want a Liverpool website. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on major cities only. I'm going to put in L. Okay, so now when we apply the filters, it should just show one. Yep, one location. Install that into the database because that means just uninstall that a second. Just let me explain why that worked rather than just right filters. That means the postcode starts with an L. That means it's a major city only. So I know Liverpool's a major city, so I can click apply, and they've got one location for that major city, right? Click continue. Right, when we get into here, like I said, we always come in here, delete spin tax cache. Yeah, we come down here, we click save. We go over to the magic page, we click edit. Doesn't matter if we've got a 1,000-mile radius because, oh, that's not gonna work. Liverpool, one location, okay? Update. Now when we go back and have a look at this site, other than these, oh, they've changed as well this time. It's done it because I've gone in and done it beforehand. Look at this, the whole website now, it's a Liverpool, it's not a mass page website, it's a normal local Liverpool website. So you can build, you can say to a client, we sell you a site that looks just like this one here. Okay, your linking structure would be different if you did it this way because obviously you're not going to get the city shortcode anymore. Proverbial locksmiths in, and you delete that and just have Liverpool because the cities is not going to work. There's only one location. But as you can see, you've got a Liverpool site. If we go over now and clone this site somewhere else and we change the central location to anywhere else you want in the country, you've instantly got a 10, 12, 15 page website covering absolutely every single area in the country. It means you only need to build one website and then you just go and change the central location, and instantly what that's going to do for your sites, for your client sites, you've got a non-mass page website created. So it's just like a central Liverpool website created instantly for your clients. Obviously, I want this to be a Manchester site, so I'm going to go back now and transfer this back so you can see how that's done as well. My filters should be 180 odd locations again like we did before. 198, sorry. Okay, we're gonna delete spin tax cache. Save settings again before we go back to that home page. Then we're gonna go back to the magic page. Edit. Manchester. 189 to pop up, 98, sorry. Click update. If this shows more than what's in your database, it's because it's catching onto the other pages. I think I explained that earlier. That all the pages of your website, right? That's been done. Let's go back to here. And we've got a full Manchester website kitted out again. These have changed because we've not visited the page before going back. Okay, so now we'll go back over to here. Go back down, we've got the 10 city shortcodes again. Go into the Manchester page and the backlinks that we created earlier. Auto electrician hand codes. Click on that, will take us back to the original website. Okay, so your linking structure is all created. So you can create one national website first of all with all your major cities on. So you just install the major cities. Then you create or you don't need to do national, you can do a regional one and only have say 5 cities if you want. Then what you do is you create a city website with good quality content, the same as what we've added into this one here, yeah? Decent, well-spun content. And create the way I've done it, set up your backlinking structure, and then the next step in the process, once all of them sites are done, so if you get that major city site done, and then you get you get the national site done, or the regional site done, then you get your major city sites done for next week, which shouldn't take long. A day, you can do 10 or 15, 20 of these. And then next week, I'll do another webinar, and I'll take you through how to create simple single niche PBN setup, okay? So it's super simple, super easy. We don't need decent, well-spun written content. It doesn't even need to be properly readable, but we want backlinks from, we want sites that expired domains that have got backlinks pointing to them. And then we do the trick I shown you on last week's webinar where you install the 301 redirect. That'll 301 redirect everything back to the homepage, and you use the PBM homepage to point to your major city websites, and again, your major city websites point to the national website, and eventually you'll start pulling up in all the national local areas. So I'm going to do that next week, guys. Has anyone got any questions? Anyone want me to go through anything at all? How would I make a USA national major cities website? Bruce, exactly the same way you've just seen me install the major cities on here. If you go into there, obviously, if you've got to have a USA license for it to work. And when you go into here, what you do is you click on each of the states involved. So you click on like California, and you go into filters, and you go into install major locations only. And then you click apply filters. And what that'll do is that'll go to Northern Ireland now, and let's see any area with, there you go. So we've only got one. We've come down in the southwest where we've got a lot more major cities. You can see we've got 22. So you go into there, you select this, watch. It's got 5,828 locations in the southeast. Click filters, install major locations. You do that throughout all the cities in the US, and then you just install the databases, and you're going to end up with a 300 or 298 from memory. And tell me on the group if I'm wrong, but 298 from memory page website that covers all of every city in the United States that's got over 100,000 location. 100,000 population, I think it is. So you're going to get all the major cities, like California's got something like 60 on its own. And then, obviously, you from that point, you've got a lot of major city sites to build, unless you just use PBNs. Right, next question. Can you show the link again to link between the city site and the normal site? Yeah, of course I can. Valerie, 1 second. Let me go back. In fact, I'll redo it for you. That's what I'll do. So then you can see how it's done from start to finish. That way, if you've seen it twice, it's easier. 1 minute. Okay, right, we go to Edit Magic Page with Elementor. Okay, we go over to the site that we want. We find the page that we want to link to, yeah? Which on this case, because it's a Manchester site, I want to link to the Manchester major city. Come down to the bottom here. Yep. I'm going to click Edit on that. And the first thing I'm going to do is delete this. Let's get rid of that completely. Bam, done. Okay, so what you want to do is you want a list of spun keywords / locations. Because I've got this in here, I'm just using this as a demo purposes for you guys, yeah? So what you do is you go into there and you paste that in. You add the squiggly brackets at the front and at the back. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change all of the hyphens into pipes, because spin text works. Whatever is inside the pipe gets spun. Okay, so I'm going to go to each one of these, and I'm going to add a pipe where that is. And if Tim Parker was on tonight, he'd be picking on my spun content, saying, I've found problems with it. I don't know if it's Tim Judge or Tim Parker that's the Tim that's on it. I'm pretty sure it's Tim Judge. So, but if he was on, he'd probably be picking on it, saying, that's not good quality spun content. Okay, guys, so we basically add the squiggly brackets front and back, stick the pipes in place, highlight the whole thing, not the gap before it, highlight the whole thing, come up to the page that you want to, select the full URL, so Command and A on a Mac, copy the URL, go back to where you was, you've got that highlighted, you click this little link here, and then you paste the link that you want to go to inside of there, and click apply, okay? When you click update, now when we go back to the site, so exit, And then we go back over to the magic page, and I'll just go through the linking structure again. So we've got the pages we've built everywhere down here. And we're going to jump over to the Ancoats page. Oop, I'm getting a phone call. Let me turn that off. Down to the bottom, as you can see, Auto Electrician Ancoats will take us to the Extreme Locks Manchester page, because Ancoats is in Manchester. It's pointing to the national website and it's hitting the Manchester location. So as you go through building these, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building, let's say I went in now and built a Scotland, somewhere in Scotland. Let's say I did Edinburgh. If I did an Edinburgh site now, I would point these to the Edinburgh page on here in the national website. So I'd go into there and I'd be pointing to that one with the keywords in the footer of the Edinburgh website. So all the small areas in Edinburgh would be pointing, like Auto Electrician Ancoats pointing at the Manchester page. It would be pointing at something to do with one of the small areas in Edinburgh would be pointing at the Edinburgh page. So if we click on Manchester now, the Manchester one will click thingy to Manchester, Auto Electrician Manchester, as you can see. To Hume, another small area that points to the Manchester page too, but with a different keyword. Car key programming Hume, click on it, and we're on Extreme. Hope that helps and makes a bit more sense now. Right, sorry guys, I wasn't right. Bruce, that's Valerie, Auckland. I'm confused as to how to set up the page content so it ranks. Okay, basically, Auckland, was you on last week's webinar? Because there's been a lot of changes in Mass Page. Basically, if you've only just started in Mass Page right now, you're in a similar position. You're in a similar position to anybody who's been doing it for 10, 15 years. Because what people have been doing for years, they've been doing keyword times location. So they've been getting 50 keywords and one location and doing 50 pages for a single location. Right, well, Google is now pulling down all of them pages because they're trying to save money on the indexing budget. It's the only logical reason why they're doing it. And what they're doing is they're getting big, long pages and they're indexing them instead, mainly on Mass Page sites at the minute. But I can imagine this is going to pull down to all the websites eventually. And the reason they're doing it is indexing one page costs whatever, 10% of what it costs to index all the 10 small pages, and it's saving billions. So, I went through all this last week as how to set it up and why to set it up. So if you was on last week's webinar, that goes through it all and you'll understand it much better. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. It's really simple. And then what will happen is setting up these backlinking structures now from the site we built last week that we turned into a major city. These backlinks will obviously help that rank anyway. So we're doing what a lot of SEO companies do. A lot of SEO companies just use backlinks. And a lot of people are saying, oh, you need traffic now, you need this, you need that, you do. But when you're trying to go after industries like locksmiths, plumbers, roofers, electricians, nobody gives a shit about those industries, so they don't have any traffic already. So you don't need huge amounts of traffic. So backlinks is still good enough to rank in these type of industries, simply because there is no massive amounts of traffic unless people are looking for a locksmith, a plumber, a roofer, electrician. But a single individual site doesn't get loads and loads and loads and loads of traffic the way that something like a brand new movies website would do and things like that, or a retail outlet website would get loads of traffic, especially around Christmas and things like that. So I'm probably waffling on a bit too advanced now. But if you watch last week's webinar, Auckland, you'll see exactly how we set it all to rank. And then this week, it shows you how to create your major city sites, linking to that. And then next week, we'll do the PBNs. And over the next 4 or 5 weeks, I'm going to run through the whole process of trying to dominate a niche online using Magic Page plugin and Mass Page, so that you can create a huge network of websites that all connect to one another and all rank, and they're pretty safe as well. They're not going to get pulled down as a PBN simply because you're doing 4 or 5 tiers of linking structure, which is what a lot of the more advanced people do. So that these backlinks, what we're doing down the bottom here, are what helps rank your website, including your internal linking structures. And you don't necessarily have to put that backlink down there in the footer. Don't copy what I'm doing. You could go in here and stick it on there somewhere and have the links inside of your content. And you can use the content randomizer, so only certain pages have it. And you can also add it so it shows in different places along the site. So just be creative with your backlinking. But I'm just showing you the structure that I use. Right, Tim, Lead Simplify Webber, yes, mate. Right, I've not done the videos yet. I promised on the group for Lead Simplify. The reason I've not done them is I'm still waiting for quite a few updates being done. Now, Martin, who does the programming side, the clever guy involved in that business, he's just finalized a few updates today, and now he's doing a new video for your first time login setup. It's going to be about a 20-minute video that shows anybody, because we've now said you don't need to set up the what's it called, the Google Maps API key. We're going to put ours in there, and that's just going to work for everybody. You're not going to have to use SMTP unless you want to send out emails to all your people and use it as a marketing system. But our SMTP server is going to take care of all of your job emails and all the rest of it for you. We've also added in there something else, the recapture keys and stuff like that. So basically, you can add your company details, and the system works straight out of the box. So he's doing a first-time setup video for everybody that shows you exactly what you've got to do to get it ready for any business. And then I'm going to start doing the videos. But if you want a webinar for it as well, pal, I can do that, no problem at all. Next week after, probably do it next week, next Thursday actually. Just let me see where I get to this week, and if we get to the point where we're ready, I can do it before Thursday for you. If not, it'll be the following week, and I'll do one on a Wednesday and one on a Thursday, one for Magic Page and one for Lead Simplify. Right, so you are only linking back to the major city on the on the major city site. I only created major cities on the national website. You don't. The national website is not a mass page website. We only installed the major cities last week, and the reason we did it that way is we want them pages to rank in all of the areas by using. Let me go back. I mean, which page of site am I on here? One sec. Let me just. Here it is. Using this here. See, car key repair, car key programming queue. Okay, so eventually, when it's getting enough backlinks and enough things are pointing to these pages, that Manchester page on here will rank for car key repair, for car key programming in Hume. So what we're doing is we're creating a network of mass page sites to point at this. So what's going to happen is the major cities will rank in a lot of the areas, then the major city websites will rank in all of the areas. So yes, we only link back to the major city on the national site, because the national site we built last week only had major cities on it. You're building a national website and you throw up 48,000 pages now, instantly today, the site will not rank anymore. They will, but you're not going to get all 48,000 pages for the UK or 180,000 pages in the US ranking instantly. You have to build them over a period of time. So you can use a content drip function, which from the center and works its way out. Or alternatively, you can use this method that I'm showing you, and you create the major city sites, then you create the cities, and what will happen is your backlinking structure and the way you pull everything forward will bring the whole network up all at the same time. So you'll end up with a network with proper decent backlinking structure all kitted out and set up correctly, so that it ranks in all the major cities and in all the small areas using your major city sites. And then obviously you've got your PBNs, which will rank in some areas, but not many. But they'll obviously push the sites up with the backlinks that were off the expired domains. But that's going to come next week. That what it meant to say is to include the minor cities when going national because of the low competition. Yes, you can. I mean, that's what I was explaining earlier. You can do a regional version if you want, but what we don't want to be doing is throwing up a site that is too big, right, straight away, and then trying to rank it for all of the smaller cities, right, because you've got a hell of a lot more work involved. The UK has 120 major cities with over 100,000 population. So we go after them because they're going to be the busiest. You can add additional locations further down the line, no problem. But what I would do is I wouldn't doing the whole of the USA's 300 areas, 300 major cities. If you're ranking all of them with your major city website, you're going to have so much work coming in that you're not going to be able to manage it all. Not as an individual, you're going to need Lead Simplify, is what I should say. So yeah, it does make more sense, and you will get more traffic, but it's going to take longer. So what I would do is I'd recommend going after where all the traffic is first. And if you want to start doing smaller cities, create smaller major city sites. So create, for example, in the UK, create an Oldham website and a Rochdale website and things like that. But I think they're probably included in the major city site actually, because they're more than 100,000. Let's have a look. One sec. Okay, yeah, Rochdale's included. So yeah, it does go pretty small. It's not they're not thinking, but areas with dense populations of over 100,000, there's not actually that many of them, and that's where you're going to get 80% of your traffic from. I have the replay. Okay, Auckland. Yeah, you watch that. Hit me up on the group as well, mate. If you need any advice or you get stuck with anything, just give me a shout once you've gone through that. And doesn't matter. Sorry, guys, I'm not reading out the question. Should I start with a new domain or expired domain? It doesn't matter hugely as much anymore, unless you can go and get a really good expired domain. I'd just get a new domain and use it, because you can't rank. Well, you can, but you can't rank for major cities in just like 6-7 days like you used to be able to do. It takes 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks before you start seeing the traffic coming in from the major cities. But if you do it the way that I'm going through over the next 5 or 6 weeks, you'll find that once you start hitting the major cities and ranking, I'm about to start doing a plumbing one in Spain. I'm going to go for every major city in Spain, and that's the one I'm going to use for the training course. So I'll go through that again with everybody, but I'm going to literally take over the plumbing in Spain whilst I'm out here, because the drains are crap. So that'll be coming soon as well. You get to see that. But yeah, it doesn't matter, mate. Just go after new domains. It's absolutely fine. How long do you wait to start sending links, visits to new? Right. I tend to leave it until the site has started. This one I'm doing it quicker than I normally would, because I'm showing you guys how I'm doing it. Normally, I would build a major city website and wait till the pages start to get indexed and then wait a few weeks. 4 to 6 weeks is plenty, but realistically, if you want to start throwing in backlinks from these, just don't overdo it. Don't build a major city site for the whole of the United States and then a national site for the whole of the United States with all 300 major cities, and then the following day have all 300 major city websites go live. What you want to do is create one that day. It takes you about half an hour to do it. So realistically, if each morning you get up and you spend half an hour creating a major city site and you send all your backlinks in after a week or two of having it live, each day it's going to be getting a load of new backlinks pointing to the major cities on the actual site, and it's going to be consistent. So because it's consistent over the period of I don't know, 6 months or so, you're doing a site every single day, what's going to happen is it's growing over a period of time, and the backlinks are growing over a period of time, and it just looks more real and more natural, and it gets used to seeing all that coming in. And it's not like that's going to stop, because obviously you're going to be creating PBNs as well, and you're going to use the dynamic backlink exporter to create links to them. So the link stream is going to grow over a period of time anyway. But realistically, you can do this model for a single niche strategy, half an hour a day. And within a few months, you've got an absolutely amazing network of websites with shitloads of traffic and loads of leads coming. Whether you're selling the leads or whether you're working the jobs and using it as contractors, it will work. Okay, have we got any more questions, guys? Because I can see that's the last question there from Tim. And Tim, yeah, if you message me on Facebook as well, mate, what I'll do is we're having a massive push on Lead Simplify. I'm actually in the process of creating a huge webinar, which will be done very, very, very soon. And anyone who wants to get on it, I'm going to do a really good special offer for Lead Simplify for that webinar. And it's also going to go through a lot of the new features and a lot of the new stuff that we're adding. A lot of the new features is more about saving people time than adding payment processes and all that. Louise, no, but if you've got money to spend, I know a guy on the group who will. There's quite a few people on the group that will, actually. But with your industry being similar to mine, Keith is pretty good at the sites. He's getting some really good results in his industry, and it's not locksmithing. So I'm pretty sure he'd be happy to build you an evergreen site. But if you get the content done, I'll help you structure it straight away on a site, no problem at all. I won't build it all from scratch, because I want you to know what you're doing. Once you know what you're doing and how to do it, it's pretty easy. And once it's easy, it's free money. It just keeps growing. Right, guys, any more questions? Has anyone got any questions? We've only been on an hour this week, which is cool. I've got a bottle of gin upstairs, so it's not too late for me to go and have a few gin and tonic before bed. Any more questions at all, guys? If not, I'm going to end the webinar, and I will see you all next week for the how to build your single niche PBNs, EMD names. Yeah, why would you want exact match domains? It doesn't. Do you know what? It does actually make a difference. It really, you can create, if you buy a domain for something that's like nobody's searching it, nobody's trying to get that keyword at all, and you buy it, you will actually see it in the search engines through the name. So it does make a difference, but you don't need it because you've got a URL structure that can have your keywords in. So I wouldn't bother, Dave. I wouldn't really bother. I've always got the best results from short domains, really short domains. Let me show you, for example. Somebody asked me the other week, he said, let me show you. Locksmith, Manchester. Right. One of my sites, see that top site there, that's mine, okay? Now, somebody said to me about getting duplicate content, and I said, it's bullshit, you don't get duplicate content here. I said, if I wanted 10 of the same websites in Manchester all ranking, I could use the exact same website. And so they didn't believe me, so I got, where is it? Oh no, it's dropped. Now I look like a right twat. Wait there. Did we go after Locksmith or Locksmith? 1 minute. There we go. It was Locksmiths. Yeah. Right. So you see the third one down, first-call.co.uk. Got nothing to do. That doesn't mention thingy. But these sites are identical. And somebody said to me, "Nah, you get penalised and all that," and you don't. There you can see that's the same site as the site I've got ranking number 1. And I didn't do it because I wanted to rank another site at the top of Manchester. I did it simply because I wanted to show somebody who said to me there is a duplicate content problem, that it's bullshit. There isn't a duplicate content problem. So coming from the exact match domain side of things, that one there's catching up with auto-locksmith.org. The domain names don't matter. I try and buy short ones. Best names to use sites, right? Regarding EMD, exact match domain names, right? What's best names to use sites? I don't know what that means, Dave. A friend of mine said the same thing about flying commercial jet. As soon as you know how to do it. Okay, Bruce. I totally agree with you, mate. And I'd love to fly a commercial jet just once. Probably never going to happen. Right, excellent. All right, you get it now. That's cool. Got on late, Mike. Looking forward to watching a replay though. Nice one, Dan. Try incognito mode. No, it's all right, mate. It was a different keyword. I was just ranking it for a different keyword. You see that first-call one there? That one, if you check that out from the backlinks, that we started putting some PP or PDFs and that towards it as well. I think that's had something to do with how I've pulled it up. But again, it's not about the backlinking on it. It's to do with you can rank them if you duplicate sites. It's not a problem if it's your sites. Right. Remind me. What's the more? Shit. Yeah, you don't want that, mate. Not if you're trying to show off. You should always take screenshots and just say you've got no internet. I've got a screenshot here. Right, cool, Dave. Right, guys. Is that the final questions? Does anyone need me to go through anything else at all before I jump off? If anything you need at all, let me know now. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Right, over and out, guys. Have a great one. Oh, I can't turn off. I will see you all on next week's webinar, or if you need anything during the week, give me a shout in the group. No problem at all, Dave. Appreciate that. All right, guys. See you all later. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks, Bruce. Contact funnels. Oh, Tim. Sorry, I was... Yeah, not a bottle of blood. I'm getting on the gin tonight. I'm running a nice strong one, so my computer and phone are going off. So I embarrass myself. Contact funnels, Tim. It is in the process. We are nearly finished. I took it all the way back down because there was a way that people could actually buy and sell inside of contact funnels, and I didn't want that. It's part of the company message. So it's not far off being finished. Martin, my coder, I'm flying him out here on the 21st to the 28th. He's going to be with me. We're getting the stuff finished on Lead Simplify and hopefully be ready to launch Contact Funnels. And again, another thing with that, Tim, anybody who is one of my monthly guys, I'm going to be giving away free licenses to absolutely everybody on Contact Funnels. So if you've got Lead Simplify or Magic Page, you're going to get a free license on Contact Funnels. It's not perfect for every industry, but it's gonna change things. It's gonna really change things. I'm so excited about it. It's the best thing. Contactfunnels.com is where you can sign up for notifications and stuff like that. Contact Funnels Limited is now mine and Martin's company. So we've got the name and all the other stuff and everything's exciting. Right, I'll see you all later, guys. Thank you very much. Nice one for making me think about that, Tim, because now I'm going to be dead happy. See you in a bit. Cheers. Bye-bye.